business, and we're going to talk about all the many hats that I wear as a small business owner. Friends, if you're new here, I want to say welcome to you. My name is Joy. I'm the owner of SubRosaTea.com. We're a small business based in Northern Ohio, and we will ship anywhere in the United States. Friends, you should be able to see my kitchen countertop and words above my head. If you cannot, please tap my nose. It should expand the video to the full viewing screen so you'll be able to see absolutely everything. While I am going to talk about our tea today, I'm also going to talk to you about my small business. We started the business back in June of 2012. I am, like I said, from Northern Ohio. We're based in Sandusky, Ohio. Sandusky, you may have heard of it before. It is the home of Cedar Point, a really large amusement park. But anyway, we have nothing to do with them, except it's definitely a destination for an awful lot of people. So here in Sandusky, Ohio, 10 years ago, I could not find loose leaf tea anywhere. I had to drive an hour. Back in the day, we didn't shop online the way we do nowadays. You definitely could, but I certainly wasn't like that. So when I discovered that I had to drive a whole hour to get good quality, organically grown loose leaf tea, I thought, you know what, I gotta try, right? I gotta try to see if this would be a viable business. I started at our local farmers market, which was on Saturday mornings, and it's down by the water, at least it was at the time. And so I was really hopeful to catch an awful lot of people, both locals and tourists. I was hoping to reach them. I literally only sat there, I think, twice, 2 or maybe 3 Saturdays. I didn't sell very much. There certainly wasn't a lot of interest in my product based on who was coming to that particular farmer's market, and it was really small. But luckily, I met some really, really nice people. There was a lady who sold some gourmet goods, and she pointed me in the direction of some bigger and better shows. And the honey guy is actually my former 8th grade science teacher. And he was really nice to me, and he also told me about some bigger events. And that's kind of how it grew. For years and years, we did have a website, of course, but it was really just to service our customers, the people who already knew about us. I wasn't trying to grow. I really wasn't trying to expand. I was just trying to keep up with traveling every weekend. Well, I want to say in the first couple of years or so, in the first couple of years, I kept finding people who definitely qualified to be able to sell for me. So that's when I got my first sales reps, and they were going to shows as well. At one point, we had, I think, 8 different sales reps who carried inventory with them, and they spread out, and we started traveling more and more. What's interesting about that is, again, it was hard to keep up, but it was definitely very narrow in my opinion. It eventually morphed into more of an online brand, and that's why I no longer personally do shows, because I wear too many hats. So I'm going to talk to you more about that in today's video. Let's see. I have someone, I think, watching on Instagram, and she said, why show on home, not shop? I do not really know what, could you reword that? I'm not really sure what your question is, but I'm happy to answer it. Hey there, Miss Tiffany, are you, okay, you're watching on the app. Doesn't look like we have anyone watching on Facebook today, but I'm going to talk about 4 different products, 4 of our different collections. I will quickly talk about all of the products, but I kind of just want to tell you more about my business today. So, quick conversion. If you know anything about small businesses, like I said, we sell many, many hats. We have to. We really don't have a choice. So in any given day, I might wear an awful lot of hats. I seem to have a knack for it. I seem to be getting better and better at transitions. Instead of doing an entire day of just one thing, I tend to do a lot of things all in a day. Most of my days are 12 hours. I know some people are kind of jealous about being self-employed. I don't know if I would be jealous of how much I work. I really do work a lot, but it's nice that I have people who can support me. Obviously, I have fabulous customers who support me too. First off, I'm going to tell you about our pumpkin patch collection, but then I'm going to tell you more about my business. So we have pumpkin patch collection. We sell loose leaf tea here, friends, and we sell pumpkin teas all year, all the time. But we also have a collection, and in the collection it has 2 new flavors. So we've got our pumpkin juice, which is part of our Harry Potter collection that we sell all year. And pumpkin roll is new. This is a pumpkin spice tea that also has cream and vanilla. It is definitely nice and fun. I would say, while the pumpkin chai that we sell is one of the teas that has the absolute most spice, if you're looking for that, buy the pumpkin chai. It's a part of our Fall Fest collection, but the pumpkin roll has the least amount of spice, so it does have some. But I really wanted to make sure that the cream and vanilla comes through. Now, while I've got my pumpkin gear on, who here likes pumpkin? Anybody? Tiffany, I was thinking of you. I could be wrong, but are you my customer who can't do cinnamon for whatever reason? Again, I could be wrong on that. I do like to know my customers, but I'm only human. So I was thinking about my customer, whoever they are, who can't do cinnamon. This particular pumpkin patch collection does all have spice to it. It's what is very common in the marketplace, a pumpkin spice latte. They just go together so well. But I was thinking I might create something special for you since I have all the fabulous ingredients around. I was thinking maybe like a pumpkin maple, something like that. Maybe something with nuts to give it a nice balance of flavor, but no spice whatsoever. So you got to tell me if you might be interested in that, and I'm going to work on it for you. I love knowing my girls who and guys who have very specific tastes. I love getting to know my customers. It's one of the nice things about doing what I do, that it's not just all behind the scenes. Even though I do feel bad that sometimes social media is all one way. You know, that I'm making a post, I'm making a video, things like that. But until I hear engagement, I'm not really sure what my customers want. And of course, that's why I do what I do. I do create fabulous flavors for myself to enjoy. Of course I do, but I want you to enjoy them as well. That reminds me, we will have a new collection out on Sunday. Sunday, a brand new collection. I have been working on it for a very long time. It is so nice when something comes together. So for those of you who are not interested in chais and fall tasting things or pumpkins, wait until you see what is coming in store for you on Sunday. I think you are going to love it. One of the things that I wanted to tell you about with my small business is the amount of time that I have to spend bookkeeping. I suppose I could hire someone, but prior to owning and running Sub Rosa Tea, I had been self-employed for about 10 years as a professional bookkeeper. So that job had morphed into, I was interested as a young adult to learn more about the taxes that I had to pay. I had a job, I was working for other people, of course, but I had to pay taxes. And so it occurred to me that I wanted to learn as much as possible. How could I save more? How could I be really a responsible person when it came to my taxes? So again, this was a long time ago, maybe 20 years ago. I took an H&R Block tax course. You can probably do these things online now, but back then I had to drive to a building and sit in a classroom to learn how to do my own taxes. That kind of morphed into a job that I worked for, a CPA. We actually worked out at the same gym. Isn't that funny? That's just how we met. I really enjoyed the course. I love numbers. I always have. And he wound up giving me a job helping him with numbers, of course, the accounting portion, but he was a CPA that also did personal tax returns. So I got to learn more and more about that, but really the juice of it was all of the people who had a small business, their bookkeeping. I loved it. I absolutely loved learning QuickBooks, which is the software that I still use to this very day. I taught myself how to use it. I eventually became certified, taking more courses to become QuickBooks certified. And luckily, it is one of the skills that I brought into this current business that I'm really, really glad that I did. Because I feel like a small business owner, you have to know your numbers. You have to be able to dig. You have to be able to listen. You have to be able to understand the reports that are being generated, even if someone else did the data entry, which I happen to be very, very quick about. I wouldn't know as much about you as I would if I was doing it myself. So I'm not willing to give it up at this point, but I spend a lot of time doing bookkeeping. I actually enter all of the information into the software. I enter your name and your address. So even right now, we're on social media and I'm seeing your name, but in my head, that's when I get to learn where you're from, which I think is so, so cool, because being from Northern Ohio, I've been to almost every state, and I have a really fond memory of all of the locations. With the business, I had traveled to 5 states, so that was really fun. So it's just kind of nice for me, even when I'm watching the news in the morning and I see the weather report and I see which one of you is getting the rain that your farmers need, which one of you is getting the sunshine that I desperately want to get, which one of you is under a foot of snow. I love that. I love being able to associate which one of my customers is what's going on in the universe. It makes me feel more connected to you. So yes, I do all the bookkeeping. I know when you guys move, when you change your shipping address. I know when some of my ladies get married because their last name changes, but their email doesn't. And I get to see what you really buy. I love that part of the bookkeeping. I'm not going to give it up. But what I do want to do is put on another hat for you and talk about one more collection. Let's talk about the Fall Fest collection. So no more silly Pumpkin King. Let's talk about fall, y'all. Should we? I think we should. So the thing about our particular Fall Fest collection is we do have the tees with a tea accessory. We are also selling them individually and as a bundle. So our Fall Fest collection has, we've got 3 black teas, a white tea, a green tea, and a caffeine free. So in the Fall Fest collection, we do have 6. Our black teas are Tennessee whiskey, which of course complements the strawberry wine. And we have 2 chais, a pumpkin chai and a spiced apple chai. Again, those are black teas, so they do have caffeine. Like I said, the white tea is strawberry wine. Our Creme Brulee, which is the green tea, and our ginger snap. Now, I have to tell you that the one that gets ordered the most as an 8-ounce bag is the Creme Brulee. We have it all year. We introduced it last year. You guys loved it so much. We keep it all year. So the 8-ounce bags makes approximately 100 servings. We do sell our tea by weight, and of course, it is all loose leaf tea. We sell it in 3 sizes. So when you are looking at the combo pack, it comes with this autumn mug, and the mug does have an infuser basket and a lid. And the bundle is going to have all 6 of the teas that I just mentioned, and you get a choice. The Try Me size is a 1/2 ounce, which makes 5 to 6 servings, and the value size is 20 to 25 servings. So again, friends, that's the Fall Fest. I live in Ohio. We get seasons. Do you get seasons where you live? I love it. I love seasons, but my taste buds rotate. They really, really do. Like the calendar switched, the calendar flipped to an hour past Labor Day, and I wanted pumpkin chai. I couldn't get enough of it. That's all I wanted in my life was pumpkin chai. And I have a feeling that my customers are the same way, because all we were selling there for a while was pumpkin. So the good news is some of of you have switched. You've gotten what you want. And I love how a lot of you are buying from multiple collections. That's kind of the fun thing about selling them individually, is that I can see, okay, this customer's really into the black teas right now, or maybe this person, since they're only buying caffeine free, maybe they're only drinking it at night, maybe they're sharing it with a child, perhaps they just are living a caffeine-free lifestyle. So I love knowing that about you. I seem to get more of my insight from getting to know you from my bookkeeping than I do really social media. There's an interesting that goes on about my particular social media is I know that you see my posts, I know that you see the videos, but I have like the most shy bunch of anyone. Not too many questions come through, not too many comments. That's okay, I don't mind. Either that or I'm getting really good at social media and you guys are figuring it out. Like, you know where to get the answers to your questions, or I'm already answering the questions when I do my social media posts. We are using both Facebook and Instagram. We do have a YouTube channel. Our TikTok is new, so you're going to see us posting quite a lot. Our TikTok is Sub Rosa T USA, which is a different name than what we have been using in the past. It's normally just Sub Rosa T. But it is what it is, and that's okay because TikTok is so global that I'm kind of glad. I think it just worked out for the best that USA had to be in our name so everybody knows we ship to the United States. That's okay with me. Okay, do you guys get seasons? The few of you who are watching live, I would love to know. Do you get seasons where you're from? Is that something that you like? Do you want more? I think that people, definitely my customers in Florida or Southern California, I think it's just sunny and warm all the time. I don't think they get too much snow down there. I am ready to put on another hat and tell you about another collection. Take off my Fall Fest hat. Of course, I've got to talk to you about the state fair, right? Oh yeah, let's do some pigtails while we're talking about the state fair. Okay, Jill says that she lives in Rochester, New York. So Jill, do you get seasons? My godmother lived in Rochester, New York, so I have really fond memories of Rochester, New York. I've been there several times. She had a really nice farmhouse in Rochester, and my godmother happens to be a really fabulous cook. Like, I think she had a catering business at one point before. Well, she was a teacher. She was a special ed teacher. So I think that she did catering in the summertime. She was an excellent cook. So some of my memories of Rochester, New York are seafood. Because as a young person, I didn't really get exposed to that. So I have really fond memories of Rochester, New York. And I think you get seasons, right? Melissa says, we don't get much of fall or spring. Okay, that makes me sad. Melissa, where do you live? Molly's in Maine. Fall is my favorite. Yay! Do you already have fall? Because right now we're still all about the summer. Katrina is from North Carolina and the summer lasts way too long. Do you get snow, Katrina, where you are in NC in North Carolina? Okay, so I got my pigtails on and we're going to the state fair, y'all. I want to tell you about our state fair collection. In this particular collection, we have 3 black teas, an oolong tea, a green, and a caffeine-free. The State Fair collection, friends, if you buy the combo pack, it does come with the Everest Tumbler. The Everest Tumbler is my new best friend, and it will be yours too. This holds 22 ounces. It will keep your tea hot for 10 hours and cold for 20. The lid is removable, but that's where you drink out of it, from the lid. And you can remove the lid for your infuser basket. So the infuser basket is where the loose leaf tea goes. I love the Everest Tumbler, and it is thin enough to fit into your car cup holder. At least it does in my car, but I think it is the perfect size for, I would assume, everyone's cup holder. Katrina says, not much snow. That kind of makes me sad. Hi, Jennifer. Thanks for joining us. I appreciate it. Again, friends, at the moment, I'm talking to you about the State Fair collection, but I am going to talk to you more about my business in just a second, so hang on. In addition to being able to buy the State Fair collection with the tumbler, we also do sell the State Fair collection as a bundle. So I'm going to talk to you about all 6 of those teas. 3 black teas, an oolong, a green, and a tisane. 3 black teas here. Raspberry cheesecake is new this year. We didn't have that before. A customer had asked me for cheesecake on a stick. Well, I don't know about the stick part. I don't know what I can do about that in a cup of tea. But I gotta tell you, raspberry cheesecake, nice and berry and creamy and fabulous. We also have chocolate dip banana, which is my personal favorite when I go to the fair or an amusement park. I love me some chocolate dip banana. We are an all-natural company, so you will find actual real chocolate and banana inside. And, of course, the caramel apple fritter. Boy, we sell a lot of this. I think a lot of tea companies sell an apple or an apple spice. Ours is very special. So it does have those caramel notes to it, which is fun, but it's like a spiced caramel apple, but it's so much more than that. You can literally taste the fritter part. You can definitely taste that scoop of vanilla ice cream on top. The oolong tea is an elephant ear. This is like a cinnamon funnel cake. Nice and sweet and smooth. All of these are good hot or cold. We have our lemon shake up here, which is the green tea. Nice lemon and vanilla. And of course, cherry slushy. So, back to all the many hats that I wear as a business owner. I get the pleasure of maintaining our website. So, for those of you who have seen a typo, 110% my fault. Don't hesitate to send me a message or a Facebook message or an email if you ever see a typo on my website. That is not this girl's jam. I type everything out, but I am human, so I may have made a mistake. I like to type things, and then I'll wait a significant period of time before I proofread them, and then, of course, before they go live. So I am always working far in advance to what you see things, but I am the person who is taking the photography for all of the products, uploading them to the website. I create the listing, which of course is my inspiration when I created the recipe. I list all the ingredients that I've used. If you didn't know this, ingredients are listed in an order by the quantity that they are in the recipe. So if you see black tea is going to be first, okay? It's going to be first because it's the biggest ingredient. And then everything else kind of trickles in and trickles down into the recipe. So if you are a person, let's see, what's odd about this that you wouldn't see very often? Chestnut. Chestnut's kind of weird. You probably wouldn't find that too often in too many of my teas. But you can see it's like the 3rd line down. There's a lot of ingredients in a chocolate dip banana. There really is. So when you think, oh, I don't know if I like chestnut, I haven't had it before, or it's not my absolute favorite when I eat them plain, you really might not even notice that it's in here, but it's in here for a reason. Definitely depth of flavor. So like I said, we have 3 sizes. So in addition to all of that makes up a website listing, I also have to do the math. I am the person who sources all of the ingredients. We have well over 400 now, probably 500 different ingredients that I work with from time to time, and sometimes they're from different sources. If you've done some of my tea time videos where I go really in depth with the blends that I create, you may know that there's different types of black tea, because there are. There's a lot of different types of black tea. And then it also matters where it grows, the estate that it grows, how it was grown, the rainy season, how they produced it. So even though it says black tea here, I might have, at least a dozen different places that I get black tea from, which is very interesting to be able to manage all of that and all of the products and to make sure that I'm using the right black tea for the rest of the recipe to make sure the end result is a beautifully smooth and delicious cup of tea that goes with the rest of the ingredients. So I'm the one who sources all of the products and creates the recipe, but then I also have to price it. As a small business owner, as you can imagine, I need to stay in business, but I certainly don't want to charge you any more than necessary. So I'm also figuring out all the prices, but it's all based on the cost. So thank goodness I have some background in the bookkeeping, because it is a lot of math. I don't know how anyone stays in business if they do not know their numbers and is not so good with math or doesn't like math or maybe like hires it out. Do you know what I mean? Like the amount of conversations that they would have to have just blows my mind. So even though I'm often working a lot, I love it and I'm okay with that. It is one of those things. It's good to have my thumb on the pulse of everything. Friends, I've got a whole nother hat I'm gonna wear for you, so hang in there while I switch hats once again. All right. Oh yes, a pirate might have pigtails, but a pirate would only have one earring. We talked about that earlier. Why would we only have one earring? I don't know. Pirates are so silly. So Melissa says that they don't get much of fall or spring. That really, that's so sad. Oh yes, I'd asked. Oh, Melissa's from Kansas. Now that is a place I haven't been to in quite some time. I was in Missouri, Kansas, Oklahoma when I was a teenager. So I haven't been there in a while. It's funny, in Ohio, when I've traveled so much, and when you meet someone and you tell them from Ohio, the perception is often that everyone in Ohio must be a farmer. And when I was a kid growing up, I didn't know anybody who farmed. I never met anyone who was a farmer until later on in life. Now I happen to know people who do farm for a living. But sadly, my perception of Kansas is the same thing. Do you get that a lot? That, oh, I wonder if she's a farmer. Isn't that terrible? That couldn't possibly be the truth. But it's amazing how my particular education, even though I've traveled so much, I never had geography, not even one time in high school. I don't know how that was. How did I keep picking these classes that were just so different? I didn't learn very much about geography at all. So anyway, thanks for joining us from Kansas. I appreciate it. We don't have too many people on Instagram, but I'm going to keep going because I want to tell you about this other hat that I'm wearing. Now, while I have my pirate hat on, I want to tell you about our Fountain of Youth collection. This is new for us. We introduced it in July. All 6 tees are brand new. They all made it into the collection. I was thinking Fountain of Youth. Even though I am dressed like a pirate, I do think pirates set out for a reason, right? Maybe it was gold, but I have to think in my mind that some people traveled, explored, had the confidence and the willingness to explore because they were looking for immortality. So let's talk about that because these teas have so many health benefits. I want to tell you about it. So this is Caribbean Coconut Calypso. This is a green tea. Green teas are high in antioxidants, low in caffeine. It does have a fair amount of coconut, but it also has other ingredients that make it really balanced. I think you are going to love it. A Fool's Gold. Who's drinking this one? Fool's Gold does have turmeric in it, so it's a tea that's literally going to steep up a gold color. It just makes me feel good when turmeric is in my tea. I don't really like turmeric in like salad dressings and food too often, but you know I'm going to drink it in my tea, no problem. This also has some orange and mango, so it's nice and fruity, not too spicy. Fabulous, hot or cold. Next up, friends, we have got hot buttered rum and immortality. Hot buttered rum is a black tea, and it does have butterscotch. If you've ever had real hot buttered rum, it literally does have a spiced butter to it. Wasn't going to put butter into your tea, but butterscotch was really perfect. And it does have a fair amount of spice, but also some sweetness as well. Immortality, it's got purple tea. If you don't know what purple tea is, friends, it's got the same antioxidants as blueberries, which they're called anthocyanins. Tons of anti-cancer health benefits. This tea is the purple tea, but it also has butterfly pea flower. So it literally turns a bluey purple in your cup. Really, really fun. Next up, South Beach Sunset. South Beach Sunset. So again, I was thinking pirates on a pirate ship in the Caribbean. Of course, they're going to spend some nights on the shore, hopefully with good company. So this tea does have hibiscus, it's going to steep up a beautiful red, pink color in your cup. It definitely mimics a sunset. If you don't know, hibiscus, it's a flower, it's completely caffeine free, but it's known to lower blood pressure. So if you suffer from low blood pressure, you might not want to give this a try. But honestly, Americans, sadly, statistically speaking, a lot of us run a little bit high on our blood pressure. So this might be the perfect tea for you to try. Last but certainly not least, I happen to love the drink called Long Island iced tea. So this is my take on that. This is Treasure Island iced tea. So if you've had that particular adult cocktail, it is based on a cola. It's a cola-based drink that has alcohol and, of course, other things. So this is the first tea I've ever created that actually has some cola notes to it. It really does. In my opinion, it mimics a cola. So it's got some cherry in it. I did use some caramel, so it is a sweet tea. It's a black tea, so it does have caffeine, kind of like cola does. It's a good one. Treasure Island. Again, friends, these 6 teas that I'm talking to you about, we do sell them individually, but they are part of the Fountain of Youth Tea collection. Back to all the many hats that I wear here at Sub Rosa Tea. Shipping. Yes, as you can tell, most of you have had received a hand-signed packing slip when you receive your shipping. I do it all. At the moment, I do it all. On big events, you know, we have 3 big events a year. We celebrate our business anniversary, we have our big Christmas in July event, and then we have obviously Cyber Monday because we are a small business. So I have help on those occasions, but the rest of the days, 362, I do it all myself. So we have a fair amount of orders, which is lovely. Of course, I'm printing the packing slips. I go and fill the orders. I definitely sign them because I sincerely am appreciative. I have gratitude. I have so much gratitude in my heart for every single order that comes through. I really do appreciate it. And I do the shipping. So what's nice right now is when you buy on our website, you get to choose whether you are shipping with the Postal Service or UPS. We use those for a lot of our packages, and you'll get a tracking. I also do all of the email marketing. Once again, if you ever see a misspelling, it's 100% my fault, but don't hesitate to ping me so I can correct it because I don't want that to go out into the universe. With my brand, I don't mean to do it on purpose, but I am only human. But I also do all the email marketing. So we typically send out 1 email a week. I don't think that's too much for a small company, but quite frankly, I always have something new to say. We are introducing new collections like the 4 that I told you about in today's video. We introduce them about every 3 weeks. So if you just joined us, our next collection is coming out on Sunday. And then for those of you who are already watching live, I think that you know later this month, something very special is happening in the world. Something wicked this way comes. And you better believe this girl is going to celebrate huge. So we do have a new collection coming out at the end of September. Probably going to do a live video on Thursday, September 29th, introducing our fabulous seasonal collection. But you will see, again, lots and lots of marketing. I am very excited about new things that are coming out. It's just one of those things. I'm excited about it. Okay, tell me right now, everyone who's watching live, you got to give me a comment. Are you into Halloween? Are you into Halloween? Is that something that you can get behind me celebrating? If you watch the video from start to finish, you know I wear a lot of hats. You have to assume I'm gonna have a lot of costumes. Yes, I am. But this girl happens to love Halloween, so I'm totally gonna celebrate that the right way with our loose leaf tea. So all of the collections I talked about today, again, 24 flavors, right, in 30 minutes. All of them are still available online. Please do follow us on all the socials. I would certainly appreciate it. And join us on Sunday. Make sure you invite your friends, and I will see you then. Friends, thank you so much for watching and listening and watching as I wear many hats in today's video. I hope you have a fabulous day. No matter what you do with the rest of your day, have yourself a cup of tea and take care of you. Bye-bye, friends.